In the game of the round played in front of packed Aleksandar Nikolić, j.t.d won against Partizan. Biggest upset of the round and season so far was made by Krka, who won against current champion Budućnost. Red Star is still the only undefeated team after they made an emphatic victory against Cibona in Zagreb. FNP made an important win in Zadar. As usual at the end of the show, we'll see top 5 plays of the round. Welcome to ABA Magazine. Budućnost got 3 new players before the second half of ABA League. First they got Goga Bitadze on loan from Mega Bemax. One of the most talented centers of Europe was MVP of his team in the first part of the season with over 20 points average and almost 8 rebounds. He will stay in the team until the end of the season. Current champion brought James Bell from Cedevita. American averaged 15 points and just over 4 rebounds per game for Cedevita. And Budućnost brought twice NBA champion Norris Cole. After even season in NBA and 2 rings with Miami, Cole started his European adventure in Maccabi, and this season he was playing in Italian Avellino. After Bitadze went to Podgorica, Mega got their center from Budućnost. Also on loan, Zoran Nikolić came to Dejan Milojević's team. This 212 cm tall player from Nikšić, due to injury, didn't had a lot of playing minutes for a current champion, and after ABA League is completed, he will return to Budućnost. We saw change in roster at Olympia too. Team from Ljubljana returned Domen Lorbek. This experienced player led Igokea, where he averaged 7.5 points and 1.5 rebounds per game. Champion of Slovenia terminated contract with Blaž Mesiček. Young player ended his second spell with Olympia, for which he played 9 games in the regional league. In the rest of the season, FNP will be stronger for Simeon Bowers. Team from Železnik brought the American player as a backup guard. He played in G League this season, and last season he played in Japan. Cibona terminated contracts with 2 American players, Joandre Jefferson and Brandis Rally Ross. Jefferson leaves after just 8 games, while Rally Ross had more important role in rotation with average 9.5 points and 2 rebounds and assists. Cibona said they are looking for new players. Dragan Nikolić is new coach for Igokea. Serbian coach already led Karpoš Sokoli and Metalac in ABA League, and this season he was coach of Polish Košalin. Nikolić has contract until the end of the season and is third coach to lead Igokea this season after Nenad Trajković and Žarko Milaković. In the game of the round in fully packed Aleksandar Nikolić, j.t.d won against Partizan 76-71. With this win, Slaven Rimac's team got their revenge on their direct rival for lost in the first half of the season and got an edge in case of same number of wins. Game played between 2 Eurocup's top 16 participants was expectedly exciting, with tensions that were understandable with the weight of the game in question. Since rivals exchanged leads throughout the entire first period, second quarter proved to be crucial for the game. Black and White started to miss a lot of distance shots, which will culminate in the rest of the game, so home team ended the game with just 6 made shots from distance out of 32 attempts. Coach Trinchieri's team had a lot of problems trying to stop Jacob Pullen, but the main role in 10-0 run with which champion of Croatia made a double-digit lead had Partizan ex-player Edo Murić. Member of national team of Slovenia scored 8 unanswered points of his debut, helped his team to gain the lead, which will they hold until the very end of the game. But that doesn't mean that the rest of the game was uneventful. Home team expectedly started the second half with a better energy, and with just 4 minutes they took Cedevita plus 12 lead and brought it down to +1. For Cedevita, Stipanovic did a great job when he fought under the hoops, and at the end he made a double-double with 12 points and 11 rebounds. He was one of the players that managed to stop the first offensive of home team. Partizan point and free throw percentage rate, they failed to materialize this. Home team threatened in the fourth period when they got to -1, and in an evenly fought finish they got to -3, but last hope of a full comeback was squashed by Edo Murić with 3-point made and just 19 seconds left on the clock. Murić and Stipanovic were one of 5 players from the winning team with double-digit points. Kob scored 13 points. Most efficient player was Jacob Pullen with 19 points and 5 made 3-point shots. Most efficient player for Partizan was Marcus Page, who had 14 points, but he made 4 out of 14 shots on the night. Veličković and Lendl scored 2 points less, while Marinkovic scored 11. Cedevita now has same number of wins as Budućnost and Mega, which is 8-4, while Partizan is 5th with 6-6. In the last game of 12th round of ABA League, Krka in Leon Štukelj Hall made a biggest surprise of a season so far, winning against current champion Budućnost. Final score was 69-64. In team from Podgorica we saw debut of Goga Bitadze and James Bell, while Norris Cole traveled with team but wasn't playing. Budućnost started the game terribly and had the worst period in both competitions with just 5 points scored. Their rival used this to get to +13 lead. Simon Petrov's team played strong and tight defense, and Budućnost wasn't able to make open shots nor to create one-on-one plays. Home team players played with a lot of confidence in second period, making difficult shots at the very end of possession, and at the end of the halftime got to +20 lead. Bitadze scored for 3, so Budućnost went to -15. Halftime score was 34-19. EuroLeague participant played much more aggressive in defense, but they still had problems in offense. After he spent most of the time with 0 points in second half, Luka Lapornik started playing better and made few incredible shots. Aleksandar Džikic's team played on great energy by Petar Popovic, who helped them on both ends of the court. Budućnost managed to lower their deficit to -9 at the start of the last period. Krka continued to play a strong defense on verge of foul, which resulted with early bonus in last period. But Budućnost missed 15 free throws and was unable to make a comeback. Visitors threatened at the very finish with the 8-0 run when they got to -5, but on the other end, Balažić scored for 3 and eventually won the game. In front of their fans, Krka won against Mornar, Partizan, Mega and now Budućnost, which got them to a group of teams with 4 wins and 8 losses. Most efficient player for the winning team was Lapornik with 12 points. Jap added another 11, while in Budućnost's fourth loss in ABA League this season, Popovic with 16 points was better than the rest. Red Star continued with their unbeaten run in ABA League. Leading team got their 12th win in as many games played at Zagreb against Cibona. Final score was 76-54. Team from Belgrade controlled the result throughout entire 40 minutes, mainly due to a great 2-point hot percentage that was over 60% for most of the game. Milan Tomic's team had full rebound control with 18 rebounds more than their rivals. So, with a lot of turnovers, visiting team had another easy win. Coach Velić's team managed to have a lead only at the beginning of the game. Red and Whites made 8-0 run led by Mike Cirbes and took over the lead, which they held until the end. Home team managed to stay in the game with help of Marko Ljubicic and were even until the end of the first period when Red Star went to +6 lead. Champion of Serbia increased lead in the second period. Cibona had a lot of problems to stop physical stronger opponents' centers, and they got most of their 5 made 3-point shots in this period. On the other end, the team from Zagreb until the very end of period were on single-digit points, after which they connected a few 3-point attempts, so at the halftime score was 38-31. Little change in the second half. Red Star had no problems with controlling the score and continued to defensively limit their opponents. Since they had double-digit lead throughout the third period, the visitors got an emphatic win in last 10 minutes. Cibona scored only 6 points in last period and received their 7th loss of the season. Most efficient player in winning team was Billy Baron with 16 points and high shooting percentage with 6 rebounds. Mike Cirbes had a double-double with 15 points and 10 rebounds. Stratos Perperoglu added another 10, while Marko Ljubicic was the only player with double-digit points in Cibona. He scored 17. In their first game without Goga Bitadze, youngest team of regional championship, Mega won against Igokeja in Sremska Mitrovica. Final score was 93-88. Zoran Nikolic debuted for Mega in a trade that had him switch places with Goga Bitadze in Budućnost. Team from Laktaši had a full roster and started game much better. When Lafayette and Lešić got in play, Igokeja makes 6-0 run and at the end of the first period got to +7. This was an extremely fast-paced game with a lot of possessions, but both teams had shooting percentages under 40 with a lot of turnovers. Home team got their recognizable game in the second period and with good shots from offense got some easy points from transition. Mega got the lead after youngster Andrija Marjanovic scored, so at the half-time break they had +2. Score was 42-40. Dejan Milovic's team continued in the same tempo at the start of the third period, in which Marjanovic shone and with a series of points got his team a double-digit lead. Champion of Montenegro got a lot of problems in defense and the team had zero responsibilities when it came to one-on-one defense and pick-and-roll situations. This was most evident by the fact that Mega scored 73 points in 30 minutes with a very modest shooting percentage for 3 points and double-digit of missed free throws. Home team held their double-digit lead until the very end of the game, when a run of bad decisions and turnovers almost jeopardized their win, but Aščerić and Ratkovica were sure from the free throw line. Most efficient in Mega were Marjanovic with 19 and Aščerić with 17, while in a losing team Zubčić and Williams were better than the rest with 16 points each. In the first game of 12th round of ABA Liga, FNP in Krešimir Ćosić Hall in an exciting finish won against Zadar. Final score was 79-85. Team from Železnik broke a negative run of 4 straight losses. This was their second win against Zadar this season. FNP's latest addition, Simeon Bowers, was in the roster but did not play. In Vladimir Ivanovic's team, most efficient players was Dragan Apić, who due to injury missed a game against Partizan in the last round. Home team had a lot of problems in offense at the start of the game, which their rival used to get to +4. Team from Železnik got to their biggest lead of +10, mostly with help of 3-point shots. Mislav Brzoja brought good energy for Zadar, and at the end of the halftime they had -2. FNP response with 6-0 run, and at the halftime break the score was 44-39. In the rest of the game we saw evenly fought play, and third period was marked by phenomenal Apić, who was unsolvable enigma for Zadar's center line. Visitors had +3 at the start of the last period, but team from Croatian coastline carried by their fans and after points by little got to their lead of the half of the last period. At the moment it was clear that we are up for an exciting finish. Key role at the finish of the game was played by Marko Jeremić, who scored important shots throughout the game. FNP's forward first stole the ball from Aggerity and then with a selfless reaction on the other end won the possession for his team, which he finished with a shot from semi-distance which effectively won the game. This was another phenomenal game for Dragan Apić, who scored 26 points and added 9 rebounds. Jeremić scored 20 points, while in Zadar 8th loss of the season, better than the rest was Božić with double-double of 14 points and 11 rebounds. In Bar, after dramatic finish, Mornar won against Olimpija. Final score was 80-75. Visitors started the game better, and after unanswered points by Begić and Špan, he had a 13-5 lead. For Mornar, we saw debut of Malcolm Grant, former player of Zadar, and until the end of the period he scored 5 points in a row, and with 5 points from Vranjes, this was enough for them to make a comeback and for Mornar to have 18-16 lead at the end of the first 10 minutes. At the start of the second period, Sane and Vranjes both scored for 3 points when the home team got their biggest +7. Great second period for Olimpija and young Luka Šamanić. He scored 9 points in the period and with alley-oop gave Olimpija 31-29 lead. Šamanić scored 3 points and took the lead. Vranjes and Waller made 6-0 run and equalized the game. Entire third period was evenly fought, with both teams exchanging the lead, and at this period no team had bigger lead than 3 points. And after 30 minutes of play, Mornar had +3, only after Waller's buzzer-beater 3-point shots. We saw the same rhythm in fourth period. Mornar took the lead 70-67 after Sane scored for 3 points, but Špan responded in same manner. Visitors took back the lead at 73-70 with points after foul from Jones, but when Waller scored for 2 and Mičević slam dunked, game was once again equalized at 74-74 with 1:35 left to play. Key possession for Mornar was at the start of the last minute when Mičević scored 3 points after Rebić assists, which gave the home team a 78-75 lead, and after great defense, Luković slam dunk brought the score to 80-75, which was also the final score. Šamanić had personal best in ABA League with 16 points and was the best within the losing team. Špan added another 14 points with 8 assists, while Begić scored 10. Best in Mornar was Vranjes with 17 points, Waller added another 16 with 5 assists. Mičević had 12 points with 6 rebounds. Dragan Apić is playing extremely well throughout the entire season, and in 12th round of ABA League he led his team to an important away victory. Center of Železnik's team was a key figure in a game played in Krešimir Ćosić Hall. In win against Zadar, Apić scored 26 points, made 9 rebounds and got 2 assists and 1 block. In 34 minutes on the court, he's got as many index points and was MVP of this round of regional championship. This was another edition of ABBA Magazine. See you all next week with more highlights from round 13.